YouTube. Today is November 30th. We're just going to put on medicated chapstick. I just got back in not even 5 minutes ago. I'm exhausted, got up earlier than usual. Had a dental appointment, which is why I got up earlier than usual. Yesterday I had an appointment, I was up earlier than usual, so I'm exhausted. So I got a goodie bag from the dentist. That's not what we're here for. What we're here for, we're going to just open this up. This came from Ulta, and the reason I'm going to open it right now, even though my food is waiting for me and also a nap, because I'm not convinced that it's not broken because it's just in a bubble mailer. And here's the invoice paper, and it's an eyeshadow palette. It was just in here. So we're just opening this to see. We're going to come back another day and do swatches, of course. Bust out a bunch of looks, of course. I don't know. I just broke the, usually the little tab you pull to open it. So I'm struggling. Yeah, so we're going to do all that on a different day, but I just wanted to make sure nothing is broken. So this is the Glam Palette. Not new at all, but new to me. You're going to see it when I see it. I want to put something over the mirror. So let me take the invoice. So we're going to open this up. I'm going to slip this in here. So you saw it before I did because of me trying to put the paper in it. So this is what it looks like. And yeah, it does look like it. You know what? I was going to say it looks like it does online, but it looks a little bit deeper in person. And I remember people being excited like, oh, cool tone, but it is a little warm and a little neutral. And so everything is intact. I'm happy about that. I did look up to see what formulas were in here because I love her creamy powder and I love her creamy mattes. And so I was like, you know what? I might be able to make this work. And looking at it, I do think there is some dust at the bottom. Well, not dust, but shadow across the bottom. I don't know from what shadows. But everything is in place. Nothing is hanging out. Nothing is loose. I'm looking at this thinking I may be able to use this on its own. And everything may show up on me. This is looking deeper in person than it does online. And so does this one. But this, because of my complexion. So some of these shades are going to blend in. This will probably blend in. That one will probably blend in. And maybe this one. But we're going to see. I do like the looks of this. And so yeah, we'll be back on a different day and do face swatches. So I might put this video, this clip in with the swatches and then do multiple looks in one video in a separate video. So that's what we're going to do, I think, as of right now. I may wake up tomorrow and forget all of what I just said. But thank you for being here and hang tight. You'll see me soon for the swatch party. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. We're going to start with Vanilla Mint Chapstick. Today is still November 30th. My name is Dion. If you're new here, I call this channel the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. The crazy, just enjoying yourself, knowing it's okay to be who you are, being your authentic self, not feeling like you need to emulate or be like someone else, but just owning who you are. And the troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a particular tool or even a certain technique because that's what we may be hearing from the cool kids. But just doing your makeup however you want to, with whatever tools you want to, get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. Here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we are about self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features. Enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. So that's what we stand for here at the Crazy Troll Nation. If you're new here, I need to let you know I do curse sometimes on my channel because I curse sometimes in real life. And I just wanted to let you know that in case this is your first video of mine that you are seeing. So for this video, you saw the quick unbagging. And so this video, we're going to do the swatches. And it would be ideal just to put it on bare skin because the Fenty primer, for the most part, is clear. It does say Invisipink. It has a pink tint to it, but it's not that prominent once I put shadow on top of it. So anyway, I stumble over my words sometimes. I do swatches on my forehead because that's closest to my eye. My lids will not tolerate me doing lid swatches for multiple shades. If it was just like 2 shades, 1 on each eye, or even 3 on each eye, because sometimes I do put 3 lid shades on for an eyeshadow look. But for this many shades, there's 15 in this palette, my lids will not be happy if I did that. So to get as close to my eye as possible, I do swatches on my forehead, and that's why I do that. And if we have more than what fits on my forehead, then we come down to the cheek area and to the chin. So that's why I do swatches on my forehead, because that's the closest representation to my chin. Girl, the closest representation to what it's going to look like on my eyelids. Yeah, y'all, I've been resting and I am still exhausted, but I'm here. I want to see what these look like so that we can go ahead and get into it. I'm not going to say what the shadow names are because the shadow names are shadow placements. Center lid, inner corner, smoke, lash line, and blend. There's none that say crease though. Oh yeah, there is one that says crease. Center eyelid. So I'm just going to go through, and as I do them, I'm going to say what the finishes are, and it is on the back of the box. It's not under the placement name on here. And one of the critiques was, how are you going to tell me where to put my eyeshadow? It is helpful if you're newer to makeup and if this is a color story that is suitable for you to put certain shades in certain places. And depending on your aesthetic, like this one says lash line, I would put that on my outer corner, or even, you know, just all over the lid, and then maybe top it with something like this. This one here says, you know, smoke to smoke outer shade, which I would use that for that. But some things it depends on what you want. So some people were like, what? Like the way that they're named is not suitable for every skin tone and everybody's aesthetic according to how they like their eyeshadow to look. If you look at Natasha Denona's YouTubes or her Instagram Reels, her shorts, whatever, she does smoke out the outer corner and the lash line, and then she blends inward with another color lighter than the... Usually sometimes she uses a gel liner or a pencil liner to create the shape, and then she'll take a dark shadow to smoke it out, and then she'll use her finger and take a shimmer shade and put on the lid, and then take a shinier shade in here. That's typically how she does her looks, and that's how this palette is designed. Even though I'm tan, I'm not as light as Natasha. And I like that on her YouTube and in the Reels, she does do looks on multiple complexions, which is handy. So what they did with this palette, even though it comes the way this is, it tells you what goes where. On the website, it shows you different configurations. It shows you what number, 1 through 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 15. It shows you the number and where you can place it so that it would be suitable according to the placement name. But still, how are you going to tell people? You know, everybody of a certain complexion is not going to want their palette to look the same way, to do it still according to what the placement is. I was going to say the name, but they're not names, they're placements. So that was the complaint about this palette. It bothers me, but it doesn't. The only reason it bothers me is when I do looks, I usually say we're using such and such shadow. When I use this, I'm not going to say, okay, we're going to take, you know, the lash line shade and put it on the outer corner. Like, I'm not going to do that. So when I use this, I'll just be like this shade or this shade. And I don't even know if I'm going to change it around within the palette, because I typically don't do that. But looking at it the way it is, if you have this or you have something similar, you know, you can dupe the colors. You do not have to have this palette. It looks a little deeper in person, just a tiny bit. Like in person, this is a dusty, it's like a dusty gray, and it's looking lighter on here. But looking at it, these 4 shades can be a look. That can be a quad. These 4 shades right here can be a quad. These 4 can be a quad. These 4 shadows can be a look. If you want a very, very, very they're not their makeup look, you can do this quad right here. And you can also do this quad right here, even though all of these are metallics, it looks like. And so then you could just do this for lash line, which says lash line anyway. But so looking at this, there are looks, and even like these 4 right here, that can be a look. You see what I mean? These 3 right here can be a look. A very simple, easy, smoky look. Use these 3 shades right here. use these three right here, which I think may look a little similar to this one, these three, but these are a little deeper because they're pinkish, where this is kind of orangey tan. And so looking at this, I am seeing like a lot of different looks that could be done. Would it be suitable for me? This wouldn't be suitable for me, but then I have done really light looks before and kind of smoked it out and liked it. It wasn't my vibe, but it was still a pretty look. And so looking at this, I do see variety in here. Even like this diagonal right here, these three shades can be a look. You know what I mean? And so there's different things that you can do, or you can come down this way, these three shades right there, do that look. If you want a pinky pinkish look, use these three shades. I just stuck my finger in it right there. And so it does look like a lot to be done with this if the colors show up. So we're going to see how they show up on me. The foundation is number 335. That was the Fenty, and also the primer was the Fenty, because I know I'm looking hella tired. So background to this palette, I had my eye on it in a way because it's smoky. I have Unfiltered Nudes. That's the cool tone palette. I have a couple other cool tone palettes. And I'm like, who am I now that I'm like not minding cool tones? But it's because I was able to smoke them out. And even Xenon, that's not, it is a smoky palette. That's why I like it. When I first seen it, I was like, yeah, baby, we're going to rock it. And we rocked it. And so for this palette here, I was thinking, okay, it is cool tone. It has a little bit of warmth to it. It's not as cool as some people were saying that it is, and some people were like, this is not an all cool tone palette. And it is a mix. And in Natasha Denona's true fashion, because people always complain, oh, they're similar shades. She does that in every single freaking palette, y'all. If you don't know, this is very similar to this shade. These two shades right here are similar. One's a little bit lighter, one's a little bit darker. What else am I seeing? These two shades are very similar. One a little lighter, one a little darker. This shade and that one, they look very similar. One's a little bit lighter, one's a little bit darker. And so she does this in all of her palettes. Even these two, they're different finishes. This is a matte. This is more tannish gray based in person. But even looking at it where you are, they look the same, but in person they really don't. So that's not a good example. But some of these shades, there's a lighter and a darker tone. And she did that with the Retro Glam palette as well. And so that's in every palette. And I understand, well, my understanding is that she does that so it is suitable for all or most complexions. Whether you're lighter or darker, you can find something to do with this palette. And so I just wanted to point that out because that was one of the other issues. It's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. All of her palettes are like that. Every single one of them. Take a look. If you don't believe me, look on the website. So this palette I did purchase from Ulta. They had 5 times points, and the online price was 15% off. And I had a $10 off coupon. And Rakuten was doing 15% cash back. And I used $12 in points. And so minus the 15% cash back, what I paid was $36.65 for this $69 palette. That's how you shop. Don't pay full price for stuff. And so my Rakuten 15% cash back will be off of the $36.65 that I paid for this palette, which when I did the math, that comes down to roughly 45% off for this palette. Yeah, they got me. When I look at the numbers and add stuff up, I'm like, oh. So I got this for like 45% off and 15% cash back off of the $36 and change that I spent for it. Yes, that's how you shop. So I have our sponge tip applicators. We're going to get started. I will be holding it. Do I want to hold it this way the whole time? No. We're going to, but then I might confuse myself, but not that I'm calling out shade names anyway. We're going to start up here. This shade, this is a metallic. This shade here. I'm hoping these look nice on me. So this is going to go there. That's the metallic. And I do like her metallics. I do like her cream to powder formula. I love her cream to powder formula, and I love her creamy matte formula. Her metallics I like too is the chroma crystals that I really, it's only one I could rock with from in the Star palette. Her other chroma crystals, and there's one in here, so I'm like, I don't know. This is a metallic shade as well. And so we're going to pick that up and put that here. That's cute. So it's a lot of metallics in here, a lot of creamy mattes in here, which I love, the creamy mattes. So I think I'm going to have fun with this palette, or at least create looks that are nice, even if it's not my vibe. This is the only chroma crystal in this palette, if I'm not mistaken. It's this one right here. So we're going to see how this applies. And when I use it in a look, we're going to see how it applies. Because usually in my experience, the chroma crystals are toppers. That showed up really nice. That showed up really nice. I meant to put my makeup trash over here. Excuse me for elbowing you in the face. Yo, when y'all go to Sephora and y'all buy stuff, I keep these to put my makeup trash in. So whenever I say something's going in my makeup trash, it's going into one of these Sephora bags. And I have a bunch of them, so then when it's full, I just throw it away and take out another one. This one here is a creamy matte. And I know, don't blow your makeup. I don't have a wet mouth, though. That's that one. Oh my gosh, even these four, like, this is pretty. This is a pretty little quad here. This one is also creamy matte. And I also don't think, because these look like they lean neutral, I don't think they'll look dusty on me. Keep in mind though, I am using a sponge tip. Like, if I were to blend this out, like, would it look borderline ashy dusty on me? I don't know. This reminds me of a color from the Xenon palette. And I did like those light grays in there. Yeah, that's looking like one of those. Is this 5 shades? Wow, this is nice. Now we're going to come down here in this shade. Maybe I should move over. This shade right here. This is a creamy matte. I'm getting excited about this palette. And my mood seems off because I'm just exhausted. I am exhausted. I'm gonna get in the sauna blanket, probably doze off in it, and if not, when I get out of it, I usually lay down anyway because I'm nice and warm and relaxed. That's a pretty shade. That's pretty. This one is also a creamy matte, and I love her creamy matte formula. So when I look at her palettes, I like how for the descriptions it describes the shade and it tells you the finish, because if it is a lot of cream to powders or creamy mattes and metallics, I'm like, okay, I can rock with it. Then it's just the point of, do I like the color story? Or do I think it'll suit me? So where did we stop? Now we're coming over here. This one is a metallic. And we're going to swipe this like we've been swiping everything else. And we're going to put that. Oh, that's bright. Oh, wow. So far, everything is showing up different. That is a very good thing. And now we're going to come over here. This shade is also a metallic. And we're going to swipe this. This feels nice. Oops, I'm just tapped it off with my finger because I saw some fall out on my microfiber cloth down here. This is a nice shade. This looks like it would belong in Xenon as well. Am I right or wrong? Look at that shade. It has some punch to it. And it has, even though it looks, that's this shade. So it has like a, I don't know, to my eye, and I do see color different than some people. To my eye, it looks like it either has like a green base or a gray base. That would look nice with Xenon too. Excuse me if this is creating a glare. And I didn't pull the whatchamajigget off of there yet. Whatchamajigget thingamabob, as somebody used to say that I know. This is metallic, this shade down here. So we're going to swipe this like we've been swiping everything else. And we're going to put this up here. This is a nice shade as well. I'm imagining how it would look on my eyelid. I like how everything is looking. This does, excuse me if you heard that in my throat, this one does look like it has the potential to possibly be ashy or dusty, but it depends on where we put it and what we do with it. And I'm saying that because of one of the shades in the Necromancy Cosmetica palette, Swamp of Sorrows, because there's a gray in there, and sometimes it makes me look ashy. And I did one look pairing it with something else, and because of the pairing of those two shadows and how it blended together, it looked really nice. And so I am confident, because of that experience, that even if this does make me look a little ashy or dusty, I feel like I can work it out in a way where it doesn't look like I need to put lotion on. So what shade was that one? I don't know where we are. That was this one because it's bright and I can tell. This shade here, this is a metallic as well. And so we're going to put that here. Yeah, when I do forehead, trying to say forehead and swatches at the same time. When I do forehead swatches, they're a whole lot better than face swatches. What did I just swatch? The Star Palette, like on my cheeks. Y'all, if y'all seen that video, they were janky. They were beyond janky. It was just horrible. And so now we're going to take this middle shade. This is a metallic. I was making sure I got the right shade. So we're going to put this one right here. That is similar to this one. So this shade is similar to that shade. This one is similar to that one. This is this one. This one is that one. If I remember, I'll swatch them on my chin later just for us to see how close they are, like if we were to put them next to each other, because that's the true test for me. Because sometimes things are like, and then you put them next to each other and it's like, yeah, they look the same. We're going to come over to this one. This is a metallic and so is this one. So this whole entire bottom row is metallic. These three are creamy mattes. These two are metallics. This entire bottom row is metallic. These two are metallic. I apologize. This entire bottom row is metallic. These three are creamy mattes. These two are metallics. These two are metallics. This one is a chroma crystal, and these two are creamy mattes. And so it is like a nice mix of shadows in here. So this one, I'm already feeling like it's going to look like something else. Maybe kind of sort of that one, which is this shade is this one. This shade is that one. And so I don't know if that's the one that two of the ones that I said, one's a lighter version of the other one. But we're going to see. So we have one more, and I'm going to take out another sponge tip, and then we're going to swatch the ones that look similar. And then we're going to see how similar they are. That is this last shade. So we got all 15 on my 5 hit today. So that one doesn't look like the other ones. This angle, they look the same, but that's way over there. So I'm not even going to count that because looking straight ahead, or if they were both on my lids, I think they would look different. So we're going to take this shade. Oh, let me be gentle. Okay, stop being aggressive, troll. And we're going to put that right here. So this shade right here is down here. We're going to flip the sponge tip over and go into this shade. They do look different. What was I seeing on my forehead? Huh. Well, that's a good thing. What the hell was I looking at? We're going to take this one right here. What the hell was I looking at? Huh. I'm going to put that right there. This does look like it has a greenish base to it to me. And now we're going to take this one over here. I don't even remember which ones we took. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They are, that looks like it has a bluish grayish tint to it to me. So the first one, that's this one. The second one is this one. The third one, this shade is this one. The fourth one on our chin is this one. They all look very different. That is good to know. So we're going to throw that sponge tip away. We used all 4 sides of that one. And now we're going to take, all the rest do look different. This one may not count as a chroma crystal, but we're going to, and this definitely is different because that's kind of pinky-ish. So we're still going to take the chroma crystal. We're just playing around right now just to see. And we're going to put that there. So this is the chroma crystal. And now we're going to come down to this shade here. So this is the one we just placed. Now we're going to come down to this one and put that here. They look close. The metallics are smoother to me. We're flipping back over to the chroma crystal side. Actually, that feels smooth too. So those are close, but it's not. If you want to be nuanced, no, they're not. There's that shadow that I hate. So no, they're not the same at all. No. That was 1, 2. We're going to do this one just for giggles, because this is not going to look like that either. Look like either one of those. So I am pleased that, okay, that blended into my skin tone. I don't know why I always say that way. Blended into my skin tone. So they are, it really does, because this way I'm like, where is it? Oop, I just wiped that one. So we're going to turn it over to the clean side, go back into this one, and put it where it is. I got to turn my head a certain way so I can see it. I can see it clearly down here. They are all different. So I am pleased to say, even when I was saying how this is the lighter one of that one, that's the lighter one of this one, they're all different. Granted, I do have one foundation. Your complexion, excuse me, undertone will make a difference in how shadows look on you. But I am happy to say there are no dupes in this palette. And even though I did say, you know, lighter tone, darker tone, but they are different. So this is the Glam palette on my forehead. And I'm liking how it looks. There's a lot of color in this palette. There's a lot of color in here. And even this little gray cluster, which doesn't look gray in person. This is like a tannish in person. But I'm liking how this is looking. So as of right now, I am excited to have this palette. I'm excited that there are no dupes in this palette. Certain angle, these two blend in, so it's like, what's the point? Like these two, but they would serve a purpose for something. Even if I just put like for my brow arch. What brow, Stroll? You don't have no brow over here. I know, you don't gotta yell at me. I know. And I'm pleased that all of these are distinctly different. This one, I'm really just like, wow, because of how that looks. I believe that's this one. So that's kind of surprising how that shade is looking. But I'm excited. So I know I keep saying that, so I'm going to go because I'll just keep saying I'm excited all over and over and over and over again. And they're not messy. There's a few little flakes in here. Keep in mind I did use a sponge tip applicator. So I did kind of, you know, you saw how I swiped in it. And that'll be it for this video. If you have Glam Palette, let me know what you think about it. If it was on your radar, which you were waiting for a sale, honey child boo boo troll Ken, you might have missed it. I paid 45% off for this and got 15% cash back off of what I did spend for this. So yeah, it got me. When I see those numbers and it's something I've been kind of curious about, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just do it. Worst comes to worst, if something in here doesn't suit me, we may or may not swap out colors for another palette for shadows. That'll make this one to me look more me. But anyway, I'm excited about this. So yeah, you know, we're gonna bust out some looks with this palette, and I know I said that very aggressively because I'm just feeling exhausted and my body's like, troll, lay your tan ass down. And so that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna wash my face off first. Look at my eyes, y'all. Don't I look tired? Like, I'm not even like wide-eyed, like, hey, how y'all doing today? I'm just like, But I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we're here. So now we see, and again, all the shades are different. They are different. Will they show up on the same on the lid? I don't know, because I use a dry brush. Unless I just want to see if I can amp it up, or if I'm having trouble picking it up, then I will use a sponge tip. But so these are saturated. A sponge tip will do that. So yeah, we're going to go for real. Let me know what your thoughts are about the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. If you have it, leave your thoughts below. Let's help each other out in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you wish that you had got it? Is it on your radar for the next sale that pops along, either at the Natasha Denona site, or the Ulta site, or Sephora site, or, you know, secondhand from Macari, Poshmark, or wherever? Even Amazon sells makeup now. And I'm just like, when did they start selling like luxury stuff over there. But anyway, thank you for being here. And as always, self-acceptance. I can't even I gotta prop up my chin. Can't even hold my head straight. So I'm like propping it up and then my neck is back. Oh, so you can see clear up my nose. So we're gonna go right now. Thank you for being here. I'm being silly, I got to go. As always, self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.